Hello friends! Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be born on March 20th? Not just your sun sign, but the full cosmic blueprint of who you are. Because if your birthday falls on this powerful day, you're not just a Pisces, or maybe even a cusp Aries, you're a living paradox, a bridge between dreams and action, winter and spring, endings and beginnings. Let's unravel the cosmic code that defines you. Western Astrology. The Pisces-Aries cusp, the cusp of rebirth. Being born on March 20th places you at one of the most fascinating and powerful intersections in the entire zodiac. You were born on the bridge between two very different worlds, Pisces, the final water sign and the most emotionally expansive, and Aries, the first fire sign and the most action-oriented. This is not just a shift between signs. It's a metaphysical rebirth, a spiritual sunrise. People born on this day carry within them the full weight of what has come before, and the full potential of what is yet to be. You're not simply a Pisces or an Aries, you are both, and neither. You are a rare alchemy of opposites. Pisces, as the 12th and final sign of the zodiac, represents culmination, wisdom, empathy, and the deep, often mysterious waters of intuition. It is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusion, and higher spiritual awareness. Pisces' energy is compassionate, imaginative, and boundless. It sees the world through emotional resonance rather than hard facts. It feels before it thinks. As someone born under Pisces' waning light, you inherit its capacity for deep inner knowing, spiritual sensitivity, and almost psychic insight into the emotions of others. Then comes Aries, crashing through the gates of spring with a wild, fearless spirit. Aries is ruled by Mars, the planet of action, drive, and desire. It is the spark of life itself, unafraid of challenges, direct in communication, and eager to experience the world firsthand. Aries' energy is bold, enthusiastic, and at times impatient. It's fire meeting reality, pure initiative and a thirst for conquest, whether intellectual, physical, or emotional. Now, imagine carrying both of these immense energies inside you. That's what it means to be born on the Pisces-Aries cusp. You are the poet and the warrior, the mystic and the pioneer. You dream in watercolor and act in lightning bolts. This makes you one of the rarest kinds of people. Someone who not only envisions a better world but has the nerve and the energy to try and build it. There is a certain contradiction that lives in you. One part of you longs for stillness, contemplation, and connection with something higher. God, the universe, your inner truth. The other part wants action, immediacy, results. One part cries at sunsets, while the other signs up for marathons on a whim. This inner polarity can create tension, but it's also your greatest gift. You're not stuck in one mode of being. You're constantly evolving, reinventing, shifting gears. That's what makes you magnetic. People sense that you're never fully anchored, and that makes them want to follow wherever you're headed. You're also incredibly hard to predict. One minute you're quietly lost in thought, writing poetry in a cafe. The next, you're making an impulsive decision that changes the course of your life. People may struggle to keep up with you. Relationships, careers, and even your interests might change rapidly. But it's not chaos, it's growth. You're not here to live a static life. You're here to transform again and again. Emotionally, you're intense. You feel things deeply but may struggle to articulate them, especially because part of you fears being seen as too sensitive, and the other part fears being misunderstood. You need safe emotional spaces and people who understand your complexity without trying to fix you. When you're allowed to be fully yourself, your energy becomes electric, healing, and inspiring. Spiritually, you may feel like an old soul and a newborn all at once. You've likely experienced déjà vu often, had dreams that felt prophetic, or sensed things beyond what's explainable. That's your Pisces intuition, but you also question tradition and seek your own path, blazing trails like Aries does. You don't follow rules, you rewrite them. Ultimately, you are here to bridge opposites. The seen and the unseen, the internal and the external, the heart and the fist. When you learn to channel both parts of yourself with balance, letting your dreams guide your actions, and your actions give birth to new dreams, there's very little you can't do. You're not here to be understood, you're here to ignite transformation. Love, deep, devotional, and complicated. When it comes to love, your soul does not settle for surface-level affection. You are a romantic in the deepest sense of the word. You crave a connection that transcends time, logic, and even reality. Love for you is not a phase or an experiment, it's a soul contract. Something ancient, something faded. This makes you a passionate lover, but also a vulnerable one. You fall in love fully, and when you do, it's as if the entire universe rearranges itself to make room for this person. You think about them constantly. You dream about them. You feel their emotions even when they're not around. You don't just want to be with someone, you want to merge with them. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. This depth can be overwhelming to those who aren't used to such intensity. That said, your love is not just emotional, it's psychic. You often know what your partner needs before they say a word. You pick up on subtle shifts in mood, energy, even body language. This makes you a deeply attuned partner, but it can also exhaust you. You absorb too much. If your partner is going through something difficult, you experience their pain as if it were your own. That's the Pisces empathy in you. Unless you learn to set energetic boundaries, you risk losing yourself in your relationships. Then there's the Aries part of your heart, the bold, daring, spontaneous side. This side craves excitement and newness. It doesn't want to be smothered. It wants flirtation, fun, sexual chemistry, and freedom. If you're with someone too passive or emotionally distant, your Aries fire gets restless. You might start picking fights or withdrawing altogether. For you, love must have depth and fire. You need both. Your ideal partner is someone who understands paradox. They are emotionally intelligent, but not overly dramatic. They are spiritually open, but grounded in reality. They give you space when you need it and intimacy when you crave it. Most importantly, they love all your moods, the dreamy ones, the fiery ones, and everything in between. One of your challenges in love is seeing people for who they truly are. Your Pisces idealism often paints lovers in golden light. You fall in love with potential, with what could be, and that opens you up to disappointment when they turn out to be just human. You may ignore red flags early on, then feel betrayed later. Learning to see clearly while still loving deeply is one of your soul's lifelong lessons. Commitment, when it happens, is sacred to you. But it must feel emotionally real and spiritually aligned. You're not one to stay in a relationship just because. If the emotional connection fades, or your soul feels trapped, you will eventually leave, even if it breaks your own heart to do so. You value loyalty, but not at the expense of your growth. Sexually, you are passionate, exploratory, and connected. You need to feel desired and seen, not just physically, but emotionally. When you're in love, you want to lose yourself in your partner, body and soul. Your sensuality is creative, intuitive, and often healing. You may use physical intimacy as a way to connect on a spiritual level, making sex feel more like a ritual than an act. You are also an incredible giver in love. You will go to the ends of the earth for someone you care about. You write love letters, surprise your partner with gestures that seem small but mean the world. But you must be careful not to give so much that you forget your own needs. You deserve reciprocity, someone who gives back with equal intensity. Love is your life's classroom. It will teach you the most about who you are, what you want, and what you're here to heal. The heartbreaks you endure will often become the catalysts for your greatest spiritual and emotional growth. Your best matches tend to be water and earth signs. Scorpio understands your depth and mirrors your emotional intensity. Cancer nurtures you, provides safety, and values your sensitive heart. Taurus grounds you, offering loyalty and sensuality. Capricorn helps you build a stable future, challenging you to bring your dreams into reality. But ultimately, the right partner for you is someone who doesn't try to tame your contradictions, but loves you more for them. Marriage, a sacred bond or a chaotic contract? For someone born on March 20th, marriage is never approached lightly or casually. It's not just a legal arrangement or a cultural expectation. To you, marriage represents something almost otherworldly, a soul-level commitment, a merging of destinies. It's a ritual, a sacred ceremony that binds not only two lives but two spiritual paths. You view the bond of marriage as something karmic, timeless, and mystical. It should be purposeful, symbolic, and infused with emotional and spiritual meaning. If a marriage doesn't challenge you to evolve and grow, it will eventually feel hollow or stagnant. You may dream about the kind of marriage that exists in epic love stories or timeless myths. You want a deep emotional resonance, a sense that your souls are walking side by side, through both darkness and light. That dreamy, idealistic longing comes from your Pisces side, which always seeks a higher, purer form of connection. But then comes Aries, fiery, independent, impulsive, pushing for action, individuality, and movement. This inner tug of war makes you crave closeness, and then freedom, often within the same relationship and even within the same week. One moment, you want to lose yourself in your partner's eyes. The next, you want your own apartment, space to breathe, and time to chase a wild idea. This duality can be disorienting for a partner who doesn't understand your inner wiring. You might appear inconsistent or emotionally unpredictable. In truth, you are not confused about what you want, you're simply complex. You want a deep connection that honors your spiritual and emotional needs, but also leaves room for your independent growth and personal journey. The challenge is finding someone who doesn't view your fluctuations as instability but instead sees them as part of your passionate and multidimensional nature. You do best in a marriage that allows for change. You are not meant to live a static emotional life. Your marriage must evolve just as you do. A rigid or overly structured relationship will suffocate you. But a fluid, open, emotionally intelligent partnership, one where both of you are constantly growing, learning, and becoming, will nourish your soul. You want to be with someone who is as invested in self-improvement as you are, someone who doesn't fear change, but welcomes it. Friendship is the hidden cornerstone of your ideal marriage. You may fall in love passionately and quickly, but what truly lasts is deep camaraderie, mutual respect, and the ability to laugh, explore, and dream together. Marrying someone you consider a best friend helps ground your emotional intensity and prevents the relationship from tipping into chaos. You need someone who gets your weird moods, your sudden bursts of inspiration, and your tendency to disappear into your own thoughts. Someone who doesn't just tolerate your inner world but is genuinely fascinated by it. Your independence is sacred, and it must be preserved, even in the most loving marriage. If a partner tries to control you or limit your self-expression, your inner Aries will rebel hard. For a marriage to thrive, it must make space for your solo endeavors, your quiet retreats, and your spontaneous adventures. You may choose to travel solo, pursue individual goals, or take breaks for inner reflection. A secure partner will see this not as abandonment but as an essential part of who you are. You love deeply, but you love best when you are also free. Emotional honesty is essential, because you often feel things so deeply but struggle to fully express them thanks to Pisces' introverted waters. It's easy for you to internalize pain or confusion. But when those emotions get bottled up, they can erupt through passive-aggressive behavior or sudden emotional withdrawal. It's important that you learn to communicate even when it feels awkward or vulnerable. A marriage that encourages radical honesty, even when it's messy or uncomfortable, will provide you with the emotional space you need to stay truly connected. At times, you may find yourself questioning the very institution of marriage. You may wonder whether lifelong commitment is even possible, or whether it restricts your soul's evolution. These thoughts are not signs that you're incapable of marriage, they're signs that you take it seriously. You want to know that if you commit, it's not out of obligation or fear of loneliness, but because your soul has recognized a mirror in another. That's the kind of union you're here for. Your journey in love and marriage will likely go through several phases. Early relationships may feel overwhelming or disappointing as you navigate your need for depth with your need for freedom. But as you mature, you'll become more skilled at balancing those opposing desires, and you'll attract partners who are equally multidimensional. The key is not to rush into marriage just because of passion or spiritual longing. Take the time to build the friendship, the trust, and the space you'll both need to thrive. If you do marry, you bring something beautiful and rare to the relationship, the capacity to love with all your heart and still keep becoming more of who you are. You don't just want to build a life with someone, you want to become something greater together. When you find someone who shares that vision, marriage is not a cage, it's a vessel for transformation. Sex, deep waters with occasional fireworks. Your sexual nature is a reflection of your soul, mysterious, layered, and profoundly sensitive. You don't approach sex casually, even when it appears spontaneous. Behind every touch, every kiss, every moment of physical connection lies something deeper. A craving to dissolve the boundaries between you and your lover. You want to be consumed and to consume. For you, sex is not just physical, it's alchemical. A merging, a spell, a sacred dance between vulnerability and power. You are incredibly intuitive in bed. Your body responds not just to physical signals but to emotional and energetic cues. You can sense when your partner's attention drifts, when they're insecure, when they're completely immersed in the moment. That sensitivity makes you an extraordinary lover. You adjust, tune in, respond, and amplify the connection with grace and fluidity. Your ability to read your partner's desires makes the experience feel more like a shared journey than an act. There's a dreamlike quality to how you make love. It's not rushed or mechanical. It flows. Like water, you adapt to the moment. Sometimes slow and sensual, other times intense and overwhelming. You might start with deep eye contact, with music, with whispered secrets, letting your partner into your inner world. You want to be touched on every level, mind, body, and spirit. You want sex to feel like home and like adventure, all at once. But then there's your Aries side, and when that fire ignites, everything changes. You can go from ethereal and gentle to bold and commanding in a heartbeat. Suddenly, you're in charge. You take risks. You want to explore boundaries, break rules, push limits. Your partner may be stunned in the best way by this shift, from watery sensualist to fiery initiator. That's what makes you unforgettable in bed. You're a chameleon of pleasure. You crave variety, too, not just in technique, but in setting, mood, and energy. You might want candlelit intimacy one night, then a wild, spontaneous encounter in a new location the next. Routine dulls your spark. You thrive on surprise, creativity, and emotional involvement. You're not into detached, mechanical sex. If there's no soul, no spark, no emotion, you'll check out mentally, even if your body stays. You also have a strong desire to please. You're happiest when your partner is happy, and you're often the one who initiates intimacy with tenderness and intention. But that generosity must be reciprocated. If your emotional or physical needs are consistently overlooked, you may start to feel used or disconnected. When that happens, your sensuality retreats behind a wall, and reconnecting requires trust, patience, and emotional safety. For you, foreplay begins far before the bedroom. A touch on the back, a meaningful conversation, a moment of real eye contact, all these awaken your desire. Emotional safety and authenticity are aphrodisiacs. You're turned on by presence, by being seen, by feeling chosen. You also love fantasy, role play, and story. Your Pisces side brings a love of illusion and imagination, and your Aries side loves to play. But most importantly, you want union. Sex is a portal, a way to feel completely alive, fully human, yet spiritually infinite. At its highest, physical intimacy becomes transcendence, a merging of two into something more. That's what you're seeking. That's what sets your desires apart. The partners who connect with you best in this realm are those who honor your sensitivity while matching your passion. They are present, open, expressive, and willing to explore both the softness and the fire in you. With the right person, you create a sexual connection that feels like an eternal flame, always burning, always evolving, always sacred. Friendship, soulful bonds and wounded healers. To call you a friend isn't just a social label, it's a spiritual contract. When you choose someone as a friend, you don't do it lightly. You see beneath the surface. You feel their energy before they ever say a word. You sense their history, their pain, their dreams, and their fears, often before they fully understand those things themselves. Friendship, for you, is not based on convenience or proximity. It's about resonance. Soul recognition, a deep, intuitive knowing that this person has entered your life for a reason. That's why the people you let into your inner circle often feel like they've been seen for the very first time. You are a natural healer in friendship, whether you realize it or not. You hold space for people in a way that's rare. You listen deeply, not just to what's said, but to what's hidden between the words. You validate feelings without judgment. You comfort without condescension. Your empathy is like a soft light. People bask in it and, for a moment, feel whole. You don't offer surface-level advice or empty reassurances. You offer real presence, real care, real connection. Because of this, you often become the emotional anchor for your friends. You're the one they call during a crisis. The one who shows up when everyone else disappears. You know how to sit with someone in their darkness, without needing to fix them or rush them out of it. That's a rare gift, but it's also your greatest vulnerability. Your compassion makes you a magnet, not just for kindred spirits, but for wounded souls. People who are lost, broken, or emotionally needy are drawn to you like moths to a flame. They feel your depth and they want to be close to it. But not all of them want to heal. Some just want to feed. You may find yourself giving and giving, your time, your energy, your emotional resources, until you're depleted. You may stay in one-sided friendships for far too long, hoping your love will be enough to change someone. But here's the truth. You cannot heal people who refuse to do their own work. Over time, this pattern can lead to burnout, resentment, or emotional exhaustion. You might begin to withdraw from friendships altogether, fearing the emotional toll. But the solution isn't to isolate, it's to learn discernment. To recognize the difference between a friend who's temporarily struggling and one who chronically takes without giving. Your challenge is to develop emotional boundaries that protect your peace without dimming your empathy. You also struggle with feeling misunderstood. Because your emotions run deep and your mind is often lost in abstract thoughts or dreams, many people simply don't get you. Surface-level small talk bores you. Gossip irritates you. Friendships that lack depth feel hollow and draining. That's why your best friendships are built with those who embrace your complexity. These people are often rare, but when you find them, they become family. True friends for you are those who understand that your moods fluctuate like the tide. They don't panic when you withdraw. They don't take it personally when you need time alone. They don't expect you to be constantly available. Instead, they trust your rhythm, and they meet you where you are. They allow space for silence, and they celebrate your return. These are the people you hold on to for life. You also need friends who nurture your imagination. You're full of wild dreams, ideas, spiritual insights, and creative visions. The best friends are the ones who let you talk about those things without rolling their eyes or trying to ground you too harshly in reality. They listen, not because they fully understand, but because they honor your right to dream. They fan the flames of your imagination instead of dousing them. Intensity is another hallmark of your friendships. You're not built for surface-level connections. You dive deep, fast. Sometimes too fast. You might trauma bond, overshare, or feel instantly close to someone after one late-night conversation. This makes your friendships rich, but also vulnerable to collapse if the other person isn't ready for that level of connection. Over time, you learn to pace yourself emotionally, to let trust and depth grow organically, instead of trying to force soul-level intimacy in the first week. You're fiercely loyal once someone earns your trust. You remember their birthdays, their pain, their childhood stories. You see the best in them, even when they've forgotten it themselves. But if someone betrays you, emotionally, energetically, or spiritually, it cuts deep. Forgiveness is possible, but it takes time. And even if you reconcile, something changes in you. You pull back, you become more careful, you learn. In your lifetime, you may have many acquaintances but only a few true friends, those who walk beside you through storms, who let you be both messy and magical, who never ask you to choose between your sensitivity and your strength. These are the ones who feel like home. Business career, visionary hustler. You were not born to punch a clock and die quietly. You were born to create, to inspire, to build something meaningful from the raw material of your dreams. For someone born on March 20th, career isn't just about making money, it's about making an impact. You need your work to matter, to reflect your inner values, to feel like an extension of your soul. You are naturally imaginative, emotionally intelligent, and deeply intuitive. This gives you an edge in any field that involves people, storytelling, healing, or innovation. You're not a cog in a machine, you're the one redesigning the machine altogether. You think in connections, possibilities, and visions. This is why you thrive in careers that offer flexibility, creativity, and room for personal growth. You don't just want a job, you want a calling. Many March 20th people find themselves drawn to roles like writer, therapist, designer, entrepreneur, social worker, life coach, healer, or artist. Why? Because these professions allow for emotional expression, creative freedom, and service to others. You are both heart and hustle. You have compassion and courage. You can imagine something beautiful and then fight to make it real. But traditional environments often feel suffocating. The 9-to-5 grind, with its cubicles and rules and rigid hierarchies, may feel like a slow spiritual death. You need variety, flexibility, purpose. If you're forced into routine or expected to follow systems that stifle your creativity, your motivation collapses. You don't thrive on stability, you thrive on meaning. You also have a low tolerance for meaningless authority. If your boss lacks integrity or vision, you won't stay loyal just for the paycheck. Your Aries side will push you toward rebellion or entrepreneurship, while your Pisces side will quietly dream of something more aligned with your soul. The result? You often pivot careers, start side hustles, or jump into passion projects with little warning. And while others may judge you as inconsistent, what you're really doing is course correcting toward your true purpose. You're also incredibly hardworking. When you're inspired, you can stay up all night perfecting a project that lights you up. You can juggle multiple roles, mentor others, and build something from scratch with zero support, if your heart is in it. But if the spark dies, your energy crashes. You can't fake it. That's why burnout is a risk. If you push through uninspired work for too long, your body and spirit will rebel. You also have the rare gift of being both visionary and intuitive. You sense trends before they happen. You anticipate needs. You understand what people want, not just logically, but emotionally. That makes you an excellent marketer, brand builder, storyteller, or coach. You know how to connect, how to make people feel seen, how to sell ideas with soul. Still, success doesn't come easily unless you anchor your dreams in structure. Your challenge is to ground your big ideas in action. You need routines, mentors, deadlines, even if you rebel against them. The trick is to design your own systems, ones that honor your rhythm while keeping you accountable. Collaboration is powerful for you, but only with the right people. You need business partners or teammates who complement your energy. Grounded earth signs like Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn are ideal. They help you stay on task, finish what you start, and turn your visions into tangible results. You bring the magic, they bring the plan. Together, it works. Ultimately, your career path won't be linear. It will likely be a spiral, filled with leaps, setbacks, reinventions, and breakthroughs. But every step will teach you something. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to do something original, healing, and impactful. And when you fully embrace your gifts, creativity, empathy, intuition, vision, you don't just build a career. You build a legacy. Numerology, the number 2. If you were born on March 20th, your numerological essence distills down to the number 2, and this seemingly simple digit holds profound significance. Number 2 is the number of balance, duality, harmony, and emotional intelligence. It stands in stark contrast to more aggressive or individualistic numbers like 1 or 8. While those numbers drive forward with direct force, the number 2 feels, weights, senses, and aligns. It is the unseen thread that holds the emotional fabric of human connection together. In many ways, the number 2 is the quiet power behind the throne, the energy that makes unity possible. Number 2 is governed by the moon in numerological tradition, which deepens its connection to your Pisces nature, bringing in intuition, cycles, emotion, softness, and the sacred feminine. If number 1 is the spark of creation, then number 2 is the womb in which it grows. It nurtures rather than initiates. It listens before it speaks. It harmonizes instead of dominating. As a person governed by this number, you are highly attuned to others' emotions. You can walk into a room and feel what's not being said. You can pick up on subtle shifts in tone, body language, and in spoken energy. This emotional fluency makes you a master at reading between the lines, and it serves you incredibly well in relationships, careers involving people, and any form of artistic or healing work. You are the person who can de-escalate tension, mediate conflict, or bring opposing forces into peaceful resolution. You are, by nature, a peacemaker. But this gift doesn't come without cost. Your intense sensitivity means that you're also deeply affected by negativity, criticism, and emotional disharmony. You may take things personally, even when they're not meant that way. You may find yourself bending over backward to please others, fearing that displeasing someone means losing their love or respect. This tendency to over-accommodate can make you vulnerable to emotional burnout or codependent dynamics. Another challenge of the number 2 is its aversion to conflict. You prefer peace at any price, even when it means swallowing your own truth. You may remain silent in situations that demand a voice. You may stay in relationships or environments that no longer serve you because you fear rocking the boat. But the lesson for 2s isn't to become combative. It's to learn that true harmony isn't the absence of conflict, but the presence of honesty and alignment. Your soul's growth will come from learning to speak up with love, to honor your own feelings as much as you do others. You also have a deep desire to be liked and accepted. External validation can feel addictive, especially when you're not firmly anchored in self-worth. The praise of others can lift you high, while their disapproval can send you spiraling. But the spiritual task of the number 2 is to cultivate inner validation. To understand that your worth is not tied to how others perceive you, but to how well you live in alignment with your own truth. Your real strength lies in inner equilibrium, in becoming your own source of peace. Creatively, number 2s are often gifted. Your sensitivity to beauty, your emotional depth, and your ability to express complex feelings in subtle ways make you a natural artist. Whether through music, writing, painting, dance, or even conversation, you have a poetic way of channeling emotion into form. You don't just create art, you infuse it with meaning and feeling. Your work moves people because it comes from such a real, emotionally raw place. Spiritually, the number 2 is also associated with psychic sensitivity. Many 2s are born empaths, claircognizants, or intuitives. You may receive insights through dreams, hunches, or unexplainable feelings that later turn out to be true. Your challenge is to trust those messages, even when they contradict logic. Intuition is your superpower, but only if you're willing to listen to it. In relationships, you are a devoted and gentle partner, often putting your loved one's needs ahead of your own. You thrive in emotionally safe, nurturing environments. You want a partner who sees your sensitivity not as weakness, but as wisdom. But again, boundaries are crucial. You must learn to ask, is this love or is this self-sacrifice? Am I compromising or am I erasing myself? Only by asking these questions can you find balance. Ultimately, being a 2 is a gift, but one that demands emotional mastery. You were not meant to bulldoze your way through life. You were meant to move gently, thoughtfully, and intentionally. You are the bridge between opposing forces. You're not here to fight. You're here to heal, harmonize, and hold space. And once you learn to hold space for yourself as well as others, your life transforms. You become a beacon of calm, grace, and quiet strength in a world that often forgets the value of softness. Druid Horoscope, the Oak Tree, March 18th to March 21st. In the ancient world of Celtic Druid astrology, your birthday aligns with one of the most revered and powerful trees in all of nature, the oak tree. Strong, noble, rooted, and wise beyond measure, the oak is considered a sacred bridge between the physical world and the divine. To be born under the sign of the oak means that your soul carries with it deep ancestral memory, a natural connection to the earth's cycles, and an inner leadership quality that others instinctively recognize, even when you don't. The oak tree is not just a symbol of strength, it embodies strength. Its roots stretch deep into the earth, drawing up ancient knowledge and holding firm through storms, droughts, and time. As an oak-born soul, you carry a similar energy. You may have an unshakable sense of knowing, even if you can't explain how. You may find yourself being the one people turn to in times of crisis, instinctively trusted to stay calm, offer wisdom, or simply provide a steady presence. You are a protector by nature, not because you crave power, but because you were born to hold space. The oak is also the doorway tree in Celtic lore, a gatekeeper between realms. That same quality exists within you. You may often feel as though you live with one foot in this world and one foot in another. The material world is familiar to you, but so is the spiritual. You may have a deep interest in ancient wisdom traditions, mysticism, or esoteric teachings. Celtic spirituality, shamanism, plant medicine, or earth-based rituals may call to you on a soul level. These aren't just hobbies, they are echoes of who you've been before. Nature, for you, is not just scenery, it's sanctuary. You may find yourself inexplicably drawn to trees, forests, oceans, and open sky. These spaces calm your nervous system and recharge your energy. You are in tune with the land, often sensing shifts in weather, season, or animal behavior. You may even communicate with nature in a way that feels subtle but deeply real. Trees may speak to you in emotion or imagery. The wind may feel like a message. This isn't imagination, it's ancestral language, still alive in your DNA. As an oak person, you are naturally protective of others. You may take on the role of caretaker, counselor, or mentor without even realizing it. You feel responsible for the emotional or physical safety of the people you love. And you will often give of yourself until you're drained. This is noble, but dangerous. Because while the oak can stand strong for centuries, it too must be nourished. You must learn to say no, to rest, to protect yourself with the same ferocity you protect others. There is a leadership quality in you that can't be denied. Even if you're shy or introverted, people sense your gravitas. Your opinions carry weight. Your presence brings order. You may find yourself in positions of authority, formal or informal, throughout your life. And unlike other leaders who crave status, your leadership is service-oriented. You lead to uplift, to stabilize, to build. You are the sacred guardian, not the conqueror. However, your greatest challenge may come in the form of rigidity. The same deep-rooted beliefs and values that make you strong can also make you inflexible or dogmatic. You may struggle with change. You may find it difficult to release old traditions, relationships, or systems that no longer serve you, simply because they are familiar. Your soul must learn that true strength also includes adaptability. That letting go is sometimes more powerful than holding on. Balance is key. Learn to honor the wisdom of the past without being imprisoned by it. Let your deep roots support new branches. Be open to innovation, to different perspectives, to change that leads to evolution. You are the keeper of sacred knowledge, but sacred knowledge must also evolve. When fully awakened, the oak person becomes a living pillar of grace. You lead with humility, love with depth, protect with fierceness, and walk the earth with a kind of quiet majesty. You remind others what it means to be truly grounded, deeply wise, and eternally connected to something greater than self. You are not just part of the forest, you are the forest. And the world is better because of your presence in it. Vedic Astrology. Revati Nakshatra if born before sunrise or Ashwini if after. In the ancient and deeply spiritual system of Vedic astrology, the position of the moon at the time of your birth holds immense importance. Unlike Western astrology, which emphasizes the sun sign, Vedic astrology, or Jyotish Shastra, focuses heavily on the moon's placement within one of the 27 lunar mansions, called nakshatras. For those born on March 20th, your nakshatra will fall either in Revati or Ashwini, depending on whether you were born before or after sunrise. These two nakshatras mark the ending and beginning of the lunar zodiac cycle, much like Pisces and Aries do in the Western system. Fitting, isn't it? You are cosmically positioned at the threshold between lifetimes, carrying both the closure of a karmic cycle and the ignition of a new spiritual journey. If you were born before sunrise, your moon likely resides in Revati Nakshatra, the final nakshatra in the zodiac. Governed by Mercury, Revati is ruled by the deity Pushan, the divine protector of travelers, shepherds, and lost souls. Revati individuals often have the soul signature of a nurturer, a gentle guardian, and a spiritually attuned guide. There's a softness to your presence, as if you've walked through many lifetimes and finally arrived at a place of peace. You may feel otherworldly, detached from the material chaos around you. Not because you don't care, but because you sense there's something deeper, something eternal, calling you beyond the noise. You are incredibly empathetic, tuned into the subtle energies and emotional undercurrents of others. People may describe you as calming, soothing, or even magical. You have a way of making others feel safe, understood, and seen. This comes from your soul's long journey through the karmic wheel. You've been the warrior, the lover, the teacher, the student, and now you carry pieces of all those experiences within you. That's why people are drawn to you. They can feel the quiet wisdom in your aura. As a Revati native, you are a dreamer and a communicator, blessed with imaginative thinking, poetic expression, and often a vivid inner world. You're likely to be musically or artistically inclined, with a strong sense of rhythm, storytelling, and emotional nuance. Your mind is like an ocean, calm on the surface, but filled with waves of inspiration and insight underneath. You may also be drawn to spiritual disciplines, healing arts, or service-based work. You're here not just to achieve but to uplift. However, your challenge is grounding. With your head in the clouds and your heart wide open, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the suffering of others or disillusioned by the material world. You may struggle with boundaries, feeling responsible for the emotions or well-being of everyone around you. You must learn to discern compassion from self-sacrifice, and to trust that not every battle is yours to fight. You're not here to save everyone. You're here to be a lighthouse, not a lifeboat. If, however, you were born after sunrise, your moon likely falls under Ashwini Nakshatra, the very first of the lunar mansions. Governed by Ketu, the south node of the moon, and ruled by the Ashwini Kumaras, twin horse-headed deities who are the celestial physicians, Ashwini people are bold, fast-moving, and deeply connected to healing and renewal. You come into this life with a bang, eager to get started, to explore, to dive into adventure, and to lead others into new territory. Ashwini energy is pioneering in every sense. You are the first responder, the innovator, the fearless explorer of paths not yet taken. You may act on intuition rather than logic, trusting your gut and often finding out later that it was spot on. Your ideas move faster than most people can keep up with. You can spot opportunity before others even know what they're looking for. But with this rapid-fire mental and physical energy comes restlessness. You may start many things but struggle to finish them. Structure and patience must be cultivated over time. Yet for all your speed and intensity, there's also a deep spiritual undercurrent to your soul. That comes from Ketu's rulership, which brings with it a desire for detachment, enlightenment, and mystical insight. You may have moments when you feel completely done with the material world, even while chasing success or thrill. You're not just running toward things, you're also running from something. That inner tension creates a complex spiritual journey, one where you must learn to balance action with awareness and ego with soul. Ashwini people often make excellent healers, herbalists, therapists, and energy workers. You're naturally attuned to the body's rhythms and capable of fast, intuitive diagnosis, whether physical, emotional, or energetic. You're here to restore balance, not through long-winded systems, but through quick, precise, instinctual solutions. Like the twin deities that govern your nakshatra, you bring vitality, youthfulness, and spark. Others come to you to be revived, body, mind, and spirit. But with all this fire, you must be careful not to burn yourself out. You are quick to ignite and quick to exhaust. You need outlets for your energy, creative, physical, and spiritual, or else you risk becoming scattered, irritable, or impulsive. Meditation, breathwork, and grounding practices are essential for maintaining your clarity and power. Whether you are Revati or Ashwini, your Vedic star path reveals you as someone rare and transitional, a soul standing at the bridge between cycles, between dimensions, between the past and the future. You are either closing out lifetimes with grace and compassion or beginning new karmic threads with courage and velocity. Either way, you are marked by cosmic timing, and your life will reflect themes of destiny, evolution, and deep spiritual movement. You are not here by accident. You are here to guide, ignite, heal, and elevate. Flower horoscope, the jonquil narcissus. In the world of symbolic flora, each birth flower reveals a mirror of the soul, and yours, the jonquil, is a delicate yet powerfully charged bloom. As a cousin of the daffodil, the jonquil carries themes of rebirth, beauty, vulnerability, and desire, but with an added layer of complexity. This isn't just a flower of springtime joy. It's a symbol of emotional layers, a radiant outside hiding a contemplative, deeply private core. In essence, it is you, in botanical form. The jonquil speaks to your natural charisma and warmth. You often appear cheerful, approachable, and optimistic to others. You may smile easily, offer encouragement freely, and seem effortlessly social. This sunshine-like quality makes people gravitate to you. They assume you are lighthearted, emotionally available, and perhaps even simple to understand. But underneath that brightness is a profound emotional intelligence, often unseen but always present. Just like the jonquil blooms quietly yet distinctly, you carry a kind of hidden strength and depth that only the perceptive few will ever truly know. There's a duality to your personality, outwardly affectionate, inwardly introspective. You may surprise people with how much time you need alone, despite seeming extroverted. Your independence is fierce, even if your love for connection is sincere. You want companionship, but you want it on your own terms. You crave deep emotional intimacy, but you guard your innermost thoughts carefully. This makes you both alluring and hard to pin down, like a flower that only blooms when the conditions are just right. The jonquil also represents desire and longing, especially of the spiritual or emotional kind. You may find yourself frequently yearning for a perfect love, for creative fulfillment, for a deeper understanding of your place in the universe. This yearning can fuel incredible works of art, emotional transformation, and personal breakthroughs. But it can also lead to disillusionment if not balanced with grounded, realistic expectations. The jonquil teaches you that desire, when held too tightly, can become obsession, but when honored as part of your soul's nature, it becomes a compass toward your most authentic life. One of the deeper symbolisms of the jonquil is the warning against narcissism, which echoes in the myth of Narcissus, the beautiful youth who fell in love with his own reflection. For you, this is less about vanity and more about the trap of self-absorption through emotional over-identification. You may at times become so wrapped up in your inner emotional world that you lose sight of the external reality, or expect others to intuitively understand your needs without expressing them. The jonquil reminds you to balance self-reflection with outward compassion, to love yourself without isolating yourself, and to stay present in the world, even when your inner world feels more vivid. You are also highly aesthetic and beauty sensitive. Your environment affects you deeply. You likely have an eye for design, color, and symmetry, and may be especially drawn to natural beauty, flowers, landscapes, light. You feel emotionally nourished by beauty, and your spaces often reflect that sensitivity. You arrange your surroundings to reflect not just what looks good, but what feels right. The jonquil's connection to renewal and rebirth speaks to your emotional cycles. You are someone who sheds emotional skins often, going through internal seasons that others may not even notice. You can bloom, retreat, regrow, and bloom again, each time more evolved than the last. You are never static. You are a perennial spirit. Above all, the jonquil is a flower that blooms with purpose and timing. It doesn't seek attention, but when it opens, it commands it. You, too, are most powerful when you're aligned with your season, when you're honoring your natural rhythms, embracing both your joy and your solitude, and blooming not for applause, but because it is simply time. Stone horoscope, aquamarine. If you were born on March 20th, your birthstone is aquamarine, a gem as poetic and spiritually rich as your soul. This crystal is more than just a beautiful blue-green stone. it's a metaphysical mirror to your inner essence. Like the sea it's named after, aquamarine reflects depth, serenity, clarity, and quiet power. It is the stone of calm waters and honest words, offering exactly the kind of energy you need to stay centered in a life that can often feel turbulent, overwhelming, or too emotionally charged for your sensitive spirit. Aquamarine has long been revered across ancient civilizations, not just for its beauty, but for its protective qualities. Sailors once wore it as a talisman to ensure safe passage across treacherous seas, believing that it could calm storms and connect them to the spirits of the ocean. In much the same way, this stone can guide you through the emotional tides of your own life. For someone who often rides the waves of intense feeling, thanks to the blend of Pisces water and Aries fire, this gemstone acts like a lighthouse, helping you find your way back to emotional equilibrium. One of aquamarine's most profound energetic gifts lies in how it strengthens the throat chakra, the center of communication and truth. If you've ever struggled to say what you really feel, or held back your voice to avoid conflict, this stone helps dissolve that tension. It encourages clear, honest, and heart-aligned expression, allowing you to speak your truth without fear of judgment or rejection. For someone born under a cusp of empathy and intensity, communication can be tricky. You often sense so much that it becomes hard to articulate. Aquamarine helps you translate your feelings into words, making your emotional intelligence accessible not only to others, but to yourself. This stone also has a deeply calming effect on your nervous system. You tend to absorb energy from your environment like a sponge, often taking on others' stress, sadness, or chaos. When this happens, anxiety can creep in, or you might feel emotionally overwhelmed without knowing why. Aquamarine acts like a psychic cleanser. It clears your aura, softens your breath, and gently reminds your body and soul to release what doesn't belong to you. Holding or wearing aquamarine can help you slow down your thoughts, regulate your emotions, and reconnect with the peaceful core that exists beneath the mental noise. Because you have such a strong connection to water, especially through your Pisces influence, this crystal also serves as a bridge to your intuitive gifts. It aligns beautifully with your natural empathic, psychic, and creative abilities. Aquamarine opens a direct line between your inner voice and higher guidance, making it easier for you to receive intuitive downloads, meaningful dreams, or spiritual insights. It enhances not just emotional intelligence but spiritual perception. You'll find that keeping this stone nearby strengthens your trust in your instincts, helping you move through life with more confidence and less self-doubt. Emotionally, aquamarine promotes balance, peace, and resilience. You are someone who feels deeply, and when life becomes too intense, it can be tempting to withdraw or escape. This stone doesn't block your feelings, it helps you ride them with grace. It reminds you that you don't need to shut down to survive. You can stay soft and stay strong at the same time. Aquamarine doesn't harden you against the world, it shields you by deepening your connection to self. That's real power. Peace that doesn't depend on the external, but radiates from within. When you're facing a tough emotional decision, whether in love, career, or personal growth, aquamarine acts like a compass. It helps you move past fear, especially the fear of confrontation, loss, or uncertainty. It brings clarity in the fog, letting you see what truly matters and what is simply emotional noise. It brings your intuition and logic into alignment, so that your choices aren't reactive but intentional. If you're feeling emotionally stuck, conflicted, or torn between head and heart, this stone is like cool water on overheated thoughts, cleansing, calming, and illuminating. There's also something aesthetically aligned about this crystal being yours. Aquamarine's serene color mimics the sea under moonlight, a perfect metaphor for your duality. It embodies the flow of Pisces and the bold clarity of Aries, merging grace and courage into one tangible form. You don't need to wear much of it. Even a small pendant, a ring, or a tumbled stone in your pocket can shift your energy in noticeable ways. Just having it near your skin is like carrying your soul's favorite frequency. In moments when you feel lost, overwhelmed, misunderstood, or emotionally burdened, reach for aquamarine. Let it remind you that your softness is not a weakness, your emotions are not liabilities, and your intuition is not vague. it's your superpower, waiting to be fully claimed. With this stone by your side, you're not just moving through life, you're navigating with purpose, grace, and truth. Shadow side, the escapist. No soul comes to earth without shadows, and yours, while wrapped in beauty and compassion, contains its own silent struggles. Being born on March 20th places you on the cusp of contradiction. You are both dreamer and doer, empath and rebel, healer and hurricane. But this mix of energies, as rich as it is, also creates emotional pressure. That pressure builds over time, especially when you've been holding space for others, neglecting your own needs, or pretending you're okay just to keep the peace. Eventually, something has to give, and that's when your shadow side emerges, quietly, subtly, and often disguised as coping. At the heart of your shadow is escapism. Life, in its raw and harsh form, can sometimes feel too loud, too demanding, too indifferent to your sensitivity. So you disappear, maybe not physically, but emotionally. You retreat into fantasy, daydreams, social media rabbit holes, mindless entertainment, overwork, or people-pleasing. You tune out, zone out, and drift. This doesn't mean you're lazy or careless. It means you're protecting your inner world from sensory overload. But when escapism becomes chronic, it blocks growth. It leaves your most important work, your healing, your truth, your boundaries, unfinished. Another thread of your shadow is the urge to save others while losing yourself. Because you feel people so deeply, you naturally want to help. But in trying to rescue everyone, you often abandon your own inner rescue. You give until you're empty, hoping your love will be enough to fix, soothe, or transform someone else's pain. But real transformation only happens when people choose it for themselves. You must learn that empathy is a gift, not a contract. You are not responsible for carrying everyone's wounds. You are not the repository of collective sorrow. You are allowed to care without sacrificing yourself. Emotional overload is another major trigger. Your energy field is like an open channel, constantly receiving, absorbing, responding. This makes you a powerful intuitive and empath, but it also makes you prone to burnout, emotional confusion, or physical exhaustion. You may struggle to distinguish your feelings from someone else's. You may feel off, without knowing why. That's your shadow absorbing too much without releasing. You need spiritual hygiene, regular grounding, energy clearing, solitude, and recalibration, to stay centered. Otherwise, you'll carry the emotional weight of everyone you've ever spoken to, and wonder why you feel so heavy. Then come the mood swings, the internal weather shifts that others may not understand. One minute you're warm, magnetic, lit with enthusiasm. The next, you're distant, silent, or overwhelmed. This happens because you're constantly shifting between Pisces' emotional waters and Aries' fiery charge. You're both vulnerable and assertive, passive and reactive. When not balanced, this duality can become volatility, confusing others, and even yourself. But this isn't madness. It's the symptom of your depth and complexity. It's a signal that you need to pause, feel, and realign. So how do you transform this shadow into power? The answer is deceptively simple: boundaries. You must learn to say no, not just to others, but to your own tendencies to overextend, overfeel, overgive. You must learn to pause before reacting, to ask yourself, is this mine to carry? Is this helping me evolve? You must recognize that your light shines brightest when it's protected, not when it's scattered in 1,000 directions. Your escapism? Turn it into art, music, storytelling, ritual. Channel your need to disappear into something creative, something that honors your complexity instead of hiding it. Your people-pleasing? Turn it into conscious compassion, where you love without losing your voice. Your emotional overload? Transform it into energy healing, meditation, solitude, journaling, tools that help you return to yourself again and again. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is the unintegrated part of you that still needs love, presence, and truth. It shows you where your power lives, not in perfection, but in awareness. When you begin to own it, hold it, and transmute it, something beautiful happens. You stop running from yourself. You start coming home. You become whole. Life purpose, the bridge between worlds. If you were born on March 20th, your very existence is a statement. one that says endings are beginnings and opposites don't just coexist, they complete one another. You are not here to walk a straight line. You are here to walk the edge, where land meets sky, where science meets soul, where the rational bows to the mystical. Your life purpose is not about choosing one side. It's about being the bridge, the one who shows others how to move between realms with grace, strength, and meaning. You are, in every way, the closing of a chapter and the start of a new book. As the final day of Pisces and the cusp of Aries, your soul is encoded with deep karmic insight, alongside the raw ambition to break into new territory. This places you in a rare, powerful position. You are the soul who remembers and the spirit who reaches forward. While others are here to repeat patterns or climb ladders, you're here to guide people across thresholds, emotional, spiritual, creative, and personal. At the heart of your mission is one clear call: to heal and inspire. Not just by doing, but by being. Your presence itself can shift the energy in a room. When you speak, people listen, not because you're loud, but because there's something in your voice that carries truth. You know how to sit with someone in silence and make them feel seen. You have the ability to name emotions that others can't articulate. You sense what's beneath the surface. And because you've walked through your own darkness, and likely still do from time to time, you don't preach from a pedestal. You relate, soul to soul. This healing energy doesn't have to look like traditional therapy or medicine. It could be in the way you write, create music, raise your children, lead your team, or hold a friend's hand during hard times. You heal through your compassion, your presence, your emotional intelligence, and the honesty of your vulnerability. When you own your story, especially the messy and confusing parts, you give others permission to own theirs. You're not just a healer. You are living proof that transformation is possible. Another powerful facet of your purpose is to build bridges between logic and spirit. You can speak both languages. You understand the importance of grounded, rational thought, but you also feel the pulse of the unseen, the divine, the poetic. You can walk into a boardroom and talk strategy, then walk into a sacred circle and speak of soul contracts and archetypes. You're not here to dismiss either side. You're here to fuse them, to prove that reason and intuition are not enemies but allies. You make the mystical practical and the practical magical. This gives you an extraordinary edge in a modern world that often wants to separate the two. You can be the CEO who leads from the heart, the artist who understands the power of structure, the teacher who honors data and divine timing, the coach who blends neuroscience with inner child work. You're the one who makes it safe for people to be both wise and wild, both efficient and emotional, both cosmic and grounded. You also carry a sacred responsibility to create beauty from chaos. Whether it's emotional turmoil, social upheaval, or inner storms, your soul is built to turn mess into meaning. This is alchemy. This is your superpower. You instinctively know how to take pain and turn it into poetry, grief and turn it into growth, fear and turn it into art. Where others see disorder, you see potential. You understand that beauty isn't perfection. It's truth, vulnerability, and transformation in motion. And it's not just about art, it's about the way you move through life. You know how to walk into a broken moment and pull light from it. You take the fragments of your past and weave them into gold. You take complexity and find clarity. You are the person others look to when they're drowning, because you've already taught yourself how to breathe underwater. As a guide, you lead with compassion and courage, not ego. You don't demand followers. You simply live your truth so boldly and so tenderly that others can't help but be moved. Your courage is not loud or flashy. It's the quiet kind that shows up every day, even when your heart is tired. It's the strength to speak the hard truth, to start over, to hold space for someone else's process while still honoring your own. You lead by example, by showing that courage is about staying open, not just pushing through. Part of your purpose is also to redefine what strength means, especially when it comes to emotion. You are here to teach people that feelings are not flaws, that sensitivity is not a weakness, and that vulnerability is not something to hide, but something to share with reverence. You are the one who says, it's okay to feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not be okay. And in doing so, you make it safe for others to be human again. You're also here to remind the world that dreams are meant to be lived, not just imagined. You have a rich inner world, one filled with visions, ideas, longings, and what-ifs. But your journey is not just to daydream. It's to bring those dreams into form. You're here to show people what it looks like when someone takes their sensitivity, their wild ideas, their inner chaos, and builds something tangible, real, and impactful with it. You are a bridge, not a destination. Your life is not about arrival. It's about movement, translation, connection. You help people understand themselves. You help spiritual people become practical, and practical people become spiritual. You speak in languages the world needs: empathy, insight, vision, and courage, and you help others find their own voice in those dialects. So if you were born on March 20th, understand this: you are not a mistake or an accident of timing. You are a liminal soul, meant to live in the in-between. One foot in the tangible world, the other in the stars. You will never be fully understood, and that's part of your magic. You are not here to fit into boxes. You are here to redefine the edges of everything you touch. Keep dreaming, keep feeling, keep choosing to show up with heart when the world asks you to numb out. Keep creating the bridges that no one else sees, because that's how the future is born. Through you. You are the ending and the beginning. And the world needs you exactly as you are. If you enjoyed this journey into the stars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more videos on the mysteries of the cosmos. And check out the links in the description for even more insights tailored just for you.